Welcome to this presentation of UPSL Soccer Action, live on YouTube and presented by the Atlantic Soccer Media Group.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Riverbed Park for the UPSL Premier Division matchup between home team North Georgia United FC welcoming in Georgia Revolution FC for this Premier Division tip-off here. Before we get into the nuts and bolts of this game and the season, we're going to take a brief break here. And when we come back, we'll get you with our match correspondent and announcer, Danny Catullo. Chasing it down, he has it. What can he do with it? He's trying to come in the middle. Find in, he's got somebody free. And there's a goal!
Hey coach, is your game going to be live streamed? Can't find a broadcast partner? I have the solution for you. It's time to contact the Atlantic Soccer Media Group. The Atlantic Soccer Media Group will provide you with the most extensive live coverage and affordable rates to bring your club's matches to your fans. So they will never miss any of the action.
Off to that far side. Shot ripped. It's in! Dalton United at the death of the game! They go ahead, and this stadium is sent to raptures!
And bring them along with you as you raise the trophy.
Gentlemen, say it with them. They are the champions.
So what are you waiting for? For the best and easiest coverage, national exposure, attract sponsors, interact with your fans, work with scouts from around the world? Contact the Atlantic Soccer Media Group.
All right, welcome back here. We're getting ready for this action between North Georgia United and the Georgia Revolution here at Riverbed Park. And I wanted to, at this time, bring in Danny Catullo He's going to be our match commentator. And Danny, what are your views on this coming matchup we have here today?
Andre, Saturday nights are for soccer up here in Northwest Georgia, and we have another one on Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you, by the way. And, well, it's been a harsh first half of the season, to be honest, for the hosts tonight's North Georgia United. They're left without a point in their first 7 matches, although there is a slight asterisk on that. A second half of a match to be replayed, but that notwithstanding, left with 0 points in their first 7 here midway through the season as we enter match week 8. Exact other side of things for the visitors today. The boys from McDonough, longstanding stalwarts of soccer south of the perimeter, and they are perched on the opposite side of the table. You see that under review, which the review is finished, Andre. That match that North Georgia United most recently played down there against FC Atlanta will be redone, the second half at least. A little bit of controversy there, but seems like the right decision. So that was a 5-3 victory in favor of FC Atlanta. North Georgia United, with an extra man in that second half, will have an opportunity to run that back and at least grab a point. We'll see what they can take from that. Georgia Revolution also with less than enviable, very recent history. They lost to a very good Atlanta United Academy side at their place, 3-1 in the previous contests. Well, it's good to have you all here for UPSL Premier Division Soccer here in the Georgia Conference. As we've alluded to already, 2 clubs with lots to play for meeting up here in the Carpet Capital tonight. As you see, just one of 7, or 6, I should say, matches on offer this weekend. Earlier on, we had kickoff with SSL FC, the first of a doubleheader over there. They're hosting Legends FC, and at that same venue, we'll see Kalanji Pro Profile take on Atlanta City just about 30 minutes after this one starts. Concurrent to us, Atlanta United Academy. We mentioned their 3-1 win last time over Revolution. They're hosting UMA. Lots of teams with a lot to play for at this stage in the season, Andre. It's always like that in the Premier Division, but even in a crazy division like this, it just feels like there's a little bit extra to this table as you see it on your screen.
Yeah, you know, and it's getting to the business part of the season right now, and we see a lot of surprising results that are causing teams to be in places that we weren't expecting them. And, you know, and some teams are now starting to bubble back up to the top, like Atlanta United. They're playing later this evening, as you mentioned. Kalanji Pro Profile have had a couple of good results that have put them in the playoff picture now. And, but, you know, in pole position, as usual, Dalton United. But for today's game, we have North Georgia United FC. Very, very tough season for them so far. No points, no wins as of yet. They've been close on occasion, and it's critical for them because those 2 spots there in red, those are the relegation places. So if you end up in those spaces at the end of the season, of course, that means you go to the drop down to Division 1 for the following season. So they're looking to survive right now.
That's right, and survival is certainly the goal at this stage of the season for North Georgia United. One of the model clubs, I think, especially for how early they are in life as a club and life in the UPSL for branding and the way that they've put this club together. We're here at Riverbed Park, their home venue, and the way that they put this together is fantastic. They've got a great production on the field. It just hasn't quite matched that expectation yet. The goals are being scored. They've scored in every single match this season, but the defensive side has needed some work. It's a tough test tonight for this young defense, and they're going to have a lot of work to do, but it's a golden opportunity here at home where they haven't been in a while to try and turn things around.
Yeah, that is so true. So it'll be interesting to see how both these teams will approach this game. As you can tell by the music that's playing in the background here, we're preparing for the teams to walk out. So we're going to sit back and let the opening ceremony start. We're going to have the playing of the national anthem, and then we'll be ready to get going. So let's just get ready. right, so the niceties are concluding now, and we're getting ready for the real action here. It's going to be an interesting start to this game, as I mentioned before. So I hope that both teams are going to come out in an attacking fashion. They both have something to play for, but for different reasons. So I'm going to hand this on over to you, Danny. Take us away.
It's go time, friends. Glad you're with us. Once again, it is match week 8 of the UPSL Georgia Premier Division season. And you see the coin toss taking place. Georgia Revolution, Revs as they are affectionately known, spent 12 seasons in NPSL, and a season ago put their U23 team, the second team of what is a pretty large academy and adult soccer setup down there in McDonough. They have not only put their U23 team in Division 1, but this year in the 2024 season, for the very first time, their first team has left NPSL, and they are playing in UPSL full-time. It's been a successful start to the season. 12 points from 6 matches, 4 wins and 2 losses. Just plus 1 goal differential. Those two games they did lose, I should say, were by pretty significant margins. 2-0-1 at home and away. They do come with 2 wins from their last 3. North Georgia United, of course, without a point from their first 6 matches, pending what happens in that replay that's coming up in midweek. They've scored every match this season, but defensively, as we've mentioned, Salvador Grimaldo's side has struggled on that side of things. The lineup for the home side then for North Georgia United: Jason Myers is in goal, as he has been all year. It's a 5-man back line. Center backs are Juan Carlos Sanchez from here in Dalton, Carlos Navarro and Isaiah Ledesma join him. Clay Gallant and Chris Carduno are the right and left wing backs respectively. Brian Rico is the defensive option in a midfield 3 with Max Ramos and Leonardo Duran. And the strikers, the guys that you come to see out here: Ronald Maradiaga, one of the leading scorers in the league with 7 from 7 matches, and Emmanuel Lom from Rome, Georgia. Spent 2 years at Shorter there. He is in a striking partnership with Maradiaga. That's your lineup for North Georgia as we get things underway. Hassan Dulfikar has the whistle. And the first 45 minutes have begun. Good to have you with us once again. And it's North Georgia in that classy green kits. They'll move from right to left on your screen. And the Revs in their classic red and white stripes. Early touch for Garduno over here on the left. One of the younger players in a pretty young team. He's actually going to graduate high school from Calhoun High, just down the road on I-75. In a few days, I'd imagine. Class of 2024. Some early touches in midfield, and there's promise down this right down flank. North Georgia United will want to use the wings today. And normally you don't advise kicks across your own goal, but there was plenty of space out there for the Revs to play with. And we'll see what they can do with a bit of possession here. And they've given away possession in the end. Maradiaga has it. He goes down. The referee was there and decided against any action. Revs will try and call things down a bit, you imagine. A touch out there for Lennox Dixon. He will play it forward to Elaine Sheritz. Bit of give and go, and they're on the left wing. There's space to center it. But a shot from there will force a dive from Myers. Nothing more, no touch. And the early scare goes a little bit wide in the near post. The lineup for Revolution: Daniel Cortez Reyes is the goalkeeper, wears the number 91. A more typical 4-man back line. From left to right, it's Alik Sherritt, Justin Dees, Luke Charles, and Marley Stevenson, the right back. Dees on the ball at the moment. He'll play to Charles. Sent to the midfield line. And that's a touch for Micah Schneider. Played through, and there's a lot of space for Sherritt. He's all alone. The one-on-one chance. And Myers is equal to it. Still a bit of bouncing around in the area, but finally claimed by Navarro. Away it goes, but not for long. Revs with high pressure get the ball right back. A shot deflected right into the path of Schneider, and his shot is saved once again. Myers with 2 point-blank stops already, and this one will be offside on the resulting chance early opportunities for Georgia Revolution, and that will be the expectation. We'll take a look at these most recent ones, as it looked like North Georgia were leisurely headed up the pitch. A bad giveaway led to this, and just kind of a freak accident of a touch goes right to Micah Schneider. Props to our replay crew. Andre Bomar, you've already heard, running the technical side of the show. Krishna Bomar as well deserves plaudits, our videographer for the evening, also lead photographer of the operation for ASMG. Another long ball, and this will be problematic all day long for the home side. This time, it is the opener! Shamar Palmer finishes it! And a dream starts making the long trip from McDonough worth it. It's 1-0 Revs after just 3 minutes of play.
Yeah, we're going to take another look at that. Again, this is what North Georgia did not want to happen here. And again, another breakaway that they've been threatening all time. But here you go, Danny. Again, getting behind that back four and just slots it right in.
I think for both sides, those outside areas of attack are very important, and certainly was for the Revs early on. So Shamar Palmer, the left winger, has the opener. And North Georgia United pegged back immediately. We spoke about it in the open, Andre. It's a team that really has to shore up some of those defensive areas, and they failed to do it early.
Yeah, I mean, we mentioned how much they had been into games, you know, both in defense and offense, as Georgia Revolution looked like they're trying to make another break here. But United are getting it back here.
And a battle for the ball. Maradiaga got there first. It's a throw-in for North Georgia, nothing more.
Well, Dan, I think now is when we want to see how North Georgia responds to this. You know, they've had a tough season. This has been the story all season long. Will they be able to mentally stay in this game and get something out of it?
Well, and they have the personnel, especially in the attack, to make that sort of response. They did score 3 in a loss that was, of course, then taken away and will be redone against FC Atlanta. Even when they're not at their best, they find ways to put goals in the back of the net. They'll be hoping to do that sooner rather than later tonight. That touched Revs most recently. And so a throw in for the boys in green. Salvador Grimaldo is the head coach and assisted by none other than his brother, Kevin Grimaldo. And they'll be looking to find a solution to the 1-0 deficit they're already in. First action of the day for goalkeeper Daniel Cortez Reyes for Revolution. Founded in 2010, played their first season of football in 2011. And some brave goalkeeping there from Jason Myers. Claims it. And
well done. Yeah, he really came and quelled that. I think that just looking at the way this has started, he's looking to try to cut off any type of action that will bring it into that attacking final third.
So a throw in past midfield for Marley Stevenson. He gets it back immediately. And it's played off of a North Georgia player. It's actually Elvin Palacios in there. Imagining there was a change at some point in the starting 11. Actually, it looks like for the moment that he's replaced Emmanuel Lom. So Palacios instead of Lom up there with Maradiaga as the two strikers.
Yeah, I think, Danny, Emmanuel Lom is going to be one of the players to watch for North Georgia. He's been a really good attacking option for them all season long. But he is going to need some support today against such a really solid Revolution back line.
Yeah, surprising that he isn't in the 11 after all, but I mean, imagine him as a super sub late on in this match. You think around the 60-minute mark, a guy like him can come on and really change the fabric of this match.
Yeah, that could be key depending on what happens up to that point, bringing on an impact player.
Plenty of space here on the left for Garduno. Garduno carries, Tries to beat his marker, Stevenson, but he gets there first. And a clearance away. Ends up into touch. Another throw for the Revs. Revolution sitting 4th of the 13 teams in the division. But despite being 3 places out of first, they're only 1 point away. You saw the table if you were with us in the pre-match opening. Another long ball, and this could be trouble. There's plenty of players in red and white streaming forward. A shot will come in from distance. Doesn't trouble Jason Myers. And a goal kick for North Georgia United. Maybe that's one, Andre, where you want to see a little bit more passing. He had players in front of him to use.
Yeah, I think that's the whole thing. You know, what I'm waiting to see, because it's been pretty evident so far. And maybe we can take a look at this last one while they retrieve the ball. Is what is the defense for North Georgia going to be able to do here? Because they're allowing a lot of space for these attacks coming down, and it might be just a little much for them right now. They're going to have to get more organized to quell some of this stuff. Revolution. Otherwise, it's going to be a long day.
Really, at times, to your point, Andre, Revs will go forward with 6 players. You've got defensive midfield options in Lennox Dixon and Charlie Longino. But they're really more central midfield options, maybe even attacking midfield players, depending on the day. And those are the most defensive guys you've got in that midfield. Everybody else is going to want to stream forward as often as possible. Here's North Georgia with the ball. A touch for Ramos, and he's lost it. One back by Revs. And the instruction from head coach Alec Morrison on that left side bench from us is to calm it down, to relax. In his words, Stevenson a touch. A very relaxed one at that. Charles. And it's Stevenson. Striding forward with ease.
So strong on the ball.
And on the left side, this is onside. A chance for Palmer. He's already scored 1. Goes for 2, and Myers has made a 3rd save from close in. He's been a busy man early on. Corner kick to come, and it'll be the first of the day. First set piece of any note for either side. And it looks like heading over to take it will be Lennox Dixon on that left side. We'll see it again. Stevenson does a good job just to shield that player from behind him. And he makes a nice pass as well. Palmer was looking to run back the previous play. Couldn't quite get it done. So we'll see what Revs have practiced on the training ground for this sort of moments. Dixon's service into the center of the area. There's players. It takes a bounce, and it's blasted over. The audible O from you, Andre. Justin Dees, the center back, with the defender's finish.
Yeah, it was one of those ones you're looking at, so uh-oh, is this going to go right on goal? But he just got under it a little bit. But, again, he was in position. He was by himself. And, again, where was the marking on that for North Georgia?
Yeah, it's always a cardinal sin defensively for it to take a bounce inside your own penalty area on a corner kick, and that's what you'll see here on this replay. It just bounces right to him, and it is more difficult to miss that than it looks off the bounce, especially for a center back. I played center back myself and was not a good finisher. It's difficult to do when you're not in the practice, but all the same, Justin Dees, I think, will prefer that he doesn't have to recollect that one too often. Imagine his teammates might be bringing it up at times, though. Longino. This is played back to Charles. Ball given away, and it's a touch for Juan Carlos Sanchez. He'll send it forward. A nice turn. And off go the guys in green, just like that. Great defending from Revs. Have them going the other way. Square touch. Longino will play it wide. Good patience to find the run of Stevenson. He'll go forward, and the interception was timely from Garduno. He's giving the ball away. Longino running the show right now, pulling the strings in midfield. A ball played through, and it looks like it's on. It's 1-on-1, and another save somehow. Jason Myers has been a magician. He's given up a goal, but hardly his fault. He's been fantastic between the posts. you get a chance to see this again, Andre. This is just fantastic goalkeeping.
Yeah, again, so easy for them to get through there, easily getting past that back four. Just a very good save by the goalkeeper that keeps that going. Now back to live action.
Corner coming in from the right of your screen. And it will find the back post. Myers there again to claim it, although there's a whistle here. Let's see what the decision is.
It looks like there was some thundering and
oh boy, yeah, it's absolutely right, Andre. You hit it on the head. It's a weather delay. So there, right now I'm hearing, well, and we're going to hear it in front of us. That's the benefit of this spot here at Riverbed Park, one of the better ones in the league.
Right here,
we're going to have a chance to hear it, Andre, if you can.
Okay, so the referee, he's going to check and make sure, you know, with thunder there could be lightning. And so if there is lightning, then he can verify that they're going to have a small delay here.
And now for those who aren't familiar with the protocol here, and this is FIFA mandated pretty much all the way down to the youth level, it's the same sort of protocol that you have with inclement weather, which would be lightning most specifically. The radius can depend. I believe it's a 10-mile radius in most cases. Where they have to evacuate.
So he's
they are
reviewed
gonna
the app, so they're gonna ask the teams to go into the locker room right now.
So the center official Hassan Dulfikar has checked his radar, and it is within that radar distance. It's a minimum of 30 minutes wait that we are going to have to subject you all to. And it was just getting interesting as well. Georgia Revolution again with the 1-0 lead over North Georgia United. And we've made it through about 13 minutes of play. We will return the clock to that point at that time. We're in the 14th minute here, and we will take at least a half-hour break. We will stick with you right here on the same feed, so don't leave your YouTube browser. We'll have updates for you and let you know when we can come back to live action. But here in the 14th minute, it's the visitors from McDonough ahead by 1. And we'll be back with the rest of this first half and the second whenever we can, right here on ASMG TV. Stay tuned. in the middle of a weather break. We are delayed for lightning in the area. If you were here to catch North Georgia United versus Georgia Revolution, well, we got about 13 or so minutes in before the lightning hit that radius that forced the players to evacuate for the moment. We're maybe 10-15 minutes into that break, so about halfway through. Still going to have to wait another 15 minutes or so. We can bring you some scores from around the league. We let you know in the open that there was a match playing before us that's just finished. We've got the result there, a 1-1 draw between SSL FC and Legends FC. Still another match to come over there between Kalangji Pro Profile and Atlanta City FC. That's on the bottom of your screen at 7:30. Potros FC away from home. They've got a big result right now. That's still underway. They are up against FC Birmingham, and they are currently holding the advantage. We've also got Atlanta United Academy and UMA FC that is just getting underway. Of course, over here, Georgia Revolution leading 1-0 after the 3rd-minute goal from Shamar Palmer. And if you weren't with us in those opening 10 or so minutes, it was solid stuff from the visitors. Georgia Revolution were very good once they got the ball in midfield, had 4 or 5 passes through the center, great runs up the middle, around the sides as well, and found their way to 3 or 4 point-blank chances. They would be up multiple goals right now if it were not for some heroics from Jason Myers in goal, and maybe a chance for the Grimaldo brothers at the helm of North Georgia United to take this little half an hour period that they've got and kind of regroup on it.
Right, and we recognize we do have a audio issue here, so I'm going to take a moment to address that, but we'll be back in just a moment. We're still in this lightning delay, and we'll be back in just a moment. Check. Check. Check one. Check one. Check. Check. Check one. Check one. Check. Check. Check one. Check. 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 Check one. Check one.
Well, friends, just to jog your memory, if you've forgotten, and you would be forgiven for doing so, it's been a while. Well, we're here at Riverbed Park, as we have been for almost 2 hours now, and right now would be about the time when we'd be at full time, except for this pesky weather that's been around, causing us some problems, and, well, we've had our own problems here in the booth as well. So we haven't been able to keep you quite as updated as we would have liked to otherwise. The situation right now is we are trying to figure out if we can win in this mad dash against the weather to 9 p.m. That is the time that North Georgia United as the host has decided that they are able to keep the facility open. They have agreements, of course, with the tenants of Riverbed Park as to how long they can hold it on a match day, and once we get to 9 o'clock, it'll be too late for them, and we do still have weather in the vicinity, so we're waiting with bated breath to figure out if there will be another lightning strike or sound of thunder in the area before 9 p.m., because if there is, then we would have to push it back to later than that, and that's a no-go. That would essentially close the curtain on this evening, and the match would be rescheduled. The way I understand the league rules, we would reset that match completely. We would go back to a fresh 90 minutes and wipe the scoreboard off. However, if we can get to 9 p.m. without any more strikes or thunder or any other type of weather that would cause another delay, then we could theoretically get as much of this game in as we can before a further storm is to come in. And so that's what we're doing right now, just trying to get an idea of whether we're going to be able to play this here right at 9 and try to get as much in as we can, or if we're just going to scrap it and try again another day. And it's interesting now for North Georgia United because they already have to make up a game that was played to completion. There was no weather over there, but we talked about it in the open of this game that FC Atlanta were allowed to play with 11 when at halftime there was a red card in the tunnel that should have forced them to play with 10, and so they're going to have to replay 45 minutes sometime in a midweek in the near future, and now we could have the same scenario here with another 90 minutes here at Riverbed in a midweek because, well, all the weekends are occupied. We have match weeks going through the rest of the regular season in the UPSL Georgia, so could be an interesting set of fixtures and a lot of fixtures in a short amount of time for the boys from Calhoun. If you are just joining us or you've forgotten the scoreline, it's 1-0 at the moment. Again, that could be wiped away. It is possible that if we don't get back to action here tonight and make it through the first half, we would have to replay the match entirely. It would be unfortunate for Georgia Revolution, who did get out to a 1-0 lead. It was a third-minute goal from Shamar Palmer on the left side, and they were threatening for more. They've been knocking on the door of Jason Meyer's goal all of those 14 minutes that we were able to play. And that was mostly the story. The Revs, led by Alec Morrison, came out hot. They were looking for inroads through the center, played it out wide, and had success there as well. And very successful in their attacking endeavors. North Georgia United defensively, as they have all season. It's been the story for them, and a sad story for the most part. Their attack has done well for them, but the defensive side of things has not quite kept up. You see the live picture in front of you. It is a fairly empty stand in the background at the moment, and of course that's because all the fans had to be cleared from those stands, and that was about an hour and a half ago at this point. It was a 7 p.m. kickoff, and 15 minutes or so in, we had that delay. This is about 7:15, 7:20. Call it when we first evacuated. It's been actually over an hour and a half now, and we are nearing 9 o'clock and still waiting on the official word. And again, we're just waiting to see if any more of that weather that's in the area rears its ugly head and forces us to delay again. We can tell you the updated scores in a couple of places. We were able to tell you as we first went to the delay that SSL and Legends played to a 1-1 draw. And the final score, as I understand it, from Birmingham, Alabama, A 3-1 victory that Potros FC is going to head back across the state line with. That is 3 big points for them. They're one of those teams towards the top of the table looking for a league title and prime position in the playoffs. Of course, the Revs are right up there in that top 4 as well, so they would have liked to see Birmingham take some points away from the title hopefuls Potros FC. Not so this evening. Atlanta United Academy still underway with the UMA FC. That one's probably just about finishing up, and we don't have a live score on that one, but we may be able to give you some updates as the night progresses because, well, we could be here a while. You never know. And we do have eyes on the referee crew and the 2 teams, that tunnel that they're going to come out of, so we'll be able to see them come out and give us the official word. We're getting close to decision time out here. And I do see some people coming back onto the field, a couple of coaches. Of course, that could mean they're just coming to pack up their stuff, or it could mean they're going to head out here and try to play. Well, I did just see some light in the background. That's not good news. We shall see if anybody else saw it, I guess. And we're still waiting, of course, to see if we're going to be able to go again at the 14th minute with this 1-0 lead for Georgia Revolution. But that's what the rest of the weekend is looking like. It's not quite as stormy, of course, further south. This is the northernmost team, along with Dalton United, as far as where their home field is this season in the league. Further south into the Atlanta Metro, not nearly as many weather problems. Well, you see the boys coming out there in red and white again, and we'll see what the official verdict is. They're back out there, and it doesn't look like we are quite going to end the day yet. They're coming back out here, and I haven't heard any word that we're packing it up, and it's looking like pretty happy faces. Seems like good news for those of us who want to see some football this evening still. If you're still with us, thanks for being a trooper, and that is indeed a Star Wars reference. You're welcome for that, or sorry, depending on how you want to take it. It is May the 4th, Star Wars Day. And you guys have stuck around with us. And we are hearing the official word that the storm is just far enough away. The lightning and thunder are still in and around, but not quite inside that radius. And because of that, just in the nick of time, friends, it looks like we're going to be able to play some football. We'll see exactly how much of this we get through. It looks like there still could be some weather in the vicinity over the rest of the evening. Hopefully it stays away, and hopefully we will get through 90 minutes. Well, at this point, we might as well remind you of just about everything in this match. It has been a while. North Georgia United, their lineup, Jason Myers is in goal. Carlos Navarro is the central option in a center back pairing of 3. Juan Carlos Sanchez to his left, Isaiah Ledesma on the right, the Grovetown Georgia native who came from Bruton Parker by way of Northumbria University in Newcastle, England. Clay Gallant is the right wing back. Chris Carduno occupies the left wing back position. Brian Rico, Max Ramos, and Leonardo Duran are the midfielders. Ronald Mariaga, leading scorer on the team and one of the leaders in the goal tally across the league, has 7 this season. And he is alongside Edwin Palacios, a late change in there at striker in favor of Emmanuel Lom. Then for Georgia Revolution, Daniel Cortez Reyes is in goal. He was not a busy man in those first 15 minutes, only had a couple of touches. Justin Dees and Luke Charles, left to right, are the 2 center backs. Left back is Alik Shiritz, and Marley Stevenson was very active on the right side of defense early on in that first quarter hour. Lennox Dixon, central defensive midfielder, who ended up pretty wide at times over the course of those first few moments. Charlie Longino is the other defensive midfield option. Thomas Duduk is the attacking midfielder. Micah Schneider and Shamar Palmer are the right and left wings, respectively. Apologies. And Elaine Shearet is the striker. Well, victorious, fists raised in the air from the AR, and that means we're going to play some football here. We'll see exactly how much we get through. Again, we're still not sure if we'll be able to finish. But we are going to have officially a 9:05 restart. Thanks for the direct information from AR2 Cameron Allen. Cameron Allen joins Josue Fernandez as the assistant referees. There's Cameron's beautiful face at the bottom of your picture at the moment. Silvio Carranza is the fourth official. Hassan Julfikar is the center referee, who's had a little more than he bargained for here. So here we go. We have a late twist to the tail. And, well, we were waiting to try and see if we could get it in by 9 and get the rest of this game going. Now we're hearing a corkscrew, and the plans is that the tenants at Riverbed here were assuming that we wouldn't go past 9:30, even if we were to start at 9 again. Now that would get us through the first 45 minutes, but nothing more. Here's the interesting part of this, and we're watching it happen right in front of us. Krishna Bomar is our videographer, and she's got us right in the middle of the action. The interesting part about this conversation is if we get through 45 minutes, as I understand it, we were to go until about 9:30. As I understand it, that would allow Georgia Revolution to keep the result, and the match could be official. Whereas if we don't get through the 45, or as we stand right now, as mentioning before, Revs would lose their 1-0 lead. And so here's the conversation that's being had. And so now the conversation is, well, why did we even try to wait this long if we knew we weren't going to be able to finish the match? And, well, we've got people running around working overtime right now, quite literally overtime, because we're past 9, and we're going to be able to bring in Andre Bomar again. Well, Dre, I don't know if you're having fun yet tonight, but you've been doing a little bit of everything. We've had audio issues. We've mostly fixed that, I think. We've had
we got
ARs giving us phones to charge. We've had everything going on, and the everything continues. What can you tell us?
Yeah, we ran into a little bit of issue, of course, with the lightning, and our audio issues have been resolved. But unfortunately, now with the facility, they're not allowing the game to go on. Both teams want to play, but we've gone beyond the rental period for this facility,
right?
And it's not owned by the team at all, so it's a city type of thing. So unfortunately, despite the fact that Georgia Revolution have traveled so far.
Well, and at this point, they've waited so long, too, Andre. That's the conversation that I could more or less hear from here was the Rev side was, well, why did we even wait this long to try to see if we could push that 9 p.m. deadline? Because we had discussed that was the deadline to try and get this game in, according to those same reasonings that you only can have the field for so long. But apparently they called the city, but the city didn't understand to some degree that it would still go beyond 9:30 if they were to start the game at 9. So I think there was a miscommunication, as I understand.
I think there was a miscommunication, and it's unfortunate because these teams, really did want to, wait and get this game on. But I'm going to go back out and talk to the officials there. I'm going to give it back to you, Danny.
You're going to wear one of your 6 or 7 hats today. Thanks for your time, Andre, as you are very busy. Appreciate you taking a moment to explain it to us. And so that's the situation, more or less, friends. We were excited. We had people ready to go. Everybody was feeling good about it, and now you're getting the doom and gloom handshake from the center official. You see it in front of you. Oh, a nice little look to the camera as well. That's not good news, as you might be able to surmise. And so we are waiting to see what the official. Oh, that's another strike of lightning. Well, if it wasn't official before, that strike in the background, maybe just outside your screen, that'll decide it. So it looks like we're not playing tonight. Just as we thought we were. The words were coming out of my mouth. It's the ultimate commentator's curse, isn't it? And usually it's only on the field type of stuff, but it's now being extended to whether we even play at all. And so it looks like we're not going to play tonight. They're still having their conversation. And again, this is fantastic camera work. It's also, we're fortunate that it's all happening right in front of us. This is the beauty of local soccer, is that, you're sitting there talking directly to the officials. They're communicating with us. The league director is also my technical director for the broadcast. The photography and videography is in the family as well. It's a fantastic operation here at ASMG TV. Pleasure for me to be a part of it. even when we only get through 14 minutes of play. There's still fun moments. And so now the conversation that's being had is, what do we do about the score line? Because they've got to decide. They have to decide if they're going to reschedule this game. And for Georgia Revolution coming from McDonough, it's not only a good 100-mile drive, it's also going all the way through Atlanta. If we're talking about a midweek reschedule, which would be a requirement, that's going to take upwards of 3 or 4 hours. We were talking about this in the break amongst ourselves here under the canopy in the broadcast booth, more or less. And it is not a fun drive all the way up here. I mean, we are at the northwest corner of the state. We're about 20 minutes from Chattanooga up here, if you've ever been up to Dalton. And the carpet capital of the world, some say. Also the home of AstroTurf. Two completely meaningless facts that I'm throwing at you because I have not a whole lot else to say. There's more lightning strikes happening in the background. This is testing my podcasting skills now, which I've run a podcast in the past. I was hoping this would be more of a play-by-play sort of situation, but that's not how it turns out all the time. And so that's the conversation to finish the thought that I was rabbit trailing off of my own thought. That's the kind of night we're having. They're trying to decide if we are going to play this out again, try to reschedule, or if we are going to try and hold this result how it is. Do we start over with 0-0? Do we keep the 15 minutes that we already played? There's still details to be hashed out here, and well, hopefully we'll be able to stick around on the broadcast and tell you as many details as we can. Again, this result matters for both these teams. North Georgia United trying to get off to their first couple of points this season. Even a draw would mean a lot for them. But a win, of course, would put them right back into the survivor conversation. Well, there's a lot of laughs going on, and the players, the officials, the team managers all seem to be taking it in stride, having as much fun with it as they can. And on both sides, they're still lightning striking, mind you, but they're still out here. They might as well be. They are doing a pretty serious rondo over here. That's like 4 lightning strikes I've already seen now. We're not going to play this match, friends. It seems pretty official at this point. But in the meantime, North Georgia United are taking full advantage. They've got like a 15-person circle and a rondo going on in there. Kind of have a mind to go out there myself and play with them. I'm not wearing green, unfortunately, so it probably wouldn't work. And then for Revs from McDonough, I do have the red on, as Krishna, our videographer today, has pointed out. It's a good point. I could maybe go be a Revolution player for a minute, although I don't have the stripes. And they're not really doing a rondo. They're just kind of kicking the ball around. A couple people taking shots on the goalkeeper. There's only one goalkeeper on the Revs roster this evening available. Actually, just one goalkeeper, I believe, on both these rosters. Well, it looks like the conversation is coming to a close, and hopefully Andre will be able to come back up when it's officially done with and give us the final little details. But the most important things to know here, we are not going to finish this football match tonight. And I don't think we're going to get any further into it, just because, again, at 9:30, that's the very latest cutoff time that the city of Dalton has established for North Georgia United. And so we are still waiting what's going to happen here. It's very unfortunate for both sides because they both wanted to play football tonight, but especially you got to feel for the Revs. They came up this far and all to play 14 minutes, and they still don't even know if those 14 minutes that they established the 1-0 lead in are actually going to count for anything. We'll have to find out later on. So, well, it's going to be 2 straight fixtures for North Georgia United where the result is still in process. We still don't know what's going to happen in that makeup 45 minutes that the Calhoun boys are going to have to go down to FC Atlanta and play. We still don't know what's going to happen there. They're going to restart that game at 3-2, which was the halftime score, and allow North Georgia to play again 11 on 10, because that's what should have happened on the day a week ago. So we still don't know what's going to happen there. The handshake between the managers, and that is going to be it. well, understandably, not everybody's pleased. I don't think anybody's particularly pleased necessarily. Not everybody's content either. And so the sentiment I'm hearing from the Revs is, well, it's frustrating, especially the frustrations are with the city deciding that, well, they had the whole conversation and they decided they could wait till 9, and then all of a sudden the city said, hey, no, just kidding. We can only go to 9:30 anyway, and so that's the biggest frustration. And there you see the Revs gathered in their, well, post-game circle, if you want to say. The post-only game we're going to play tonight. That's Alec Morrison, the head man over there, a longtime coach of the Revs U23 team, and currently now coaching the first team that now represents the club in UPSL. Well, he's made his remarks. The players begrudgingly are going to head back on whatever their transportation is for tonight and, I don't know, settle into an audiobook, put a Spotify podcast on or something, because they've got a long ride home. And it's interesting because we played 14 minutes tonight, and they're still going to go home later than they would have in a typical game without any sort of delay, because that's probably pushing 9:15 now. Yeah, about 9:10. And that means I have to wait a little while to get my tacos. I was determined to get some tacos here in Dalton, because this is where you get the really authentic, like, little Mexican taquerias, tienditas, all of those, and I can't get those where I live. It's pretty rural out there, so whenever I'm up here, I always try to make sure I get tacos. There's going to be a taco place that's open late. I know there is. I got to find one, but just delaying the carnitas enjoyment that I'm going to be having later on. Get some carnitas, some carne asada maybe. If they have milanesa, I'm going to get milanesa. If you know milanesa tacos, you know what I'm talking about, but not all the places have those. If you haven't noticed, I'm talking about literally anything that comes to my mind, because there's no football happening at all. And there won't be for the rest of the evening. So if you're still with us, I couldn't really necessarily explain why you are, because this match is not going to happen this evening. You can feel free to do anything else with your evening, because we are officially done for the night. It's pretty much certain at this. I mean, I haven't heard the words from anybody yet, but writing's been on the wall for a while, and seeing as how the home team have already all left the pitch, that's about as official gets. The refs are also gone. That's a good observation from Krishna. Not going to play without any refs. And, well, I think the refs are just trying to decide if they're going to just kick the ball around. Are they going to try to have a little mini game right now? It's happening in front of us. Whatever they're doing. Well, that's the other thing, is they're talking about how far people have come for this. If they didn't take a team bus, this is not, professional football where you get to, you all meet at the training ground and you go for the bus. These are guys who are commuting themselves, paying out of their own pocket to be out here. Pretty much everybody at this level, and so some people coming from farther away. They've got a long drive back this evening. As do we, actually. It's the point I'm just now realizing as I say that. It's not just them. It's really all of us here. I have a more fortunate drive than most. I'm kind of on this side of Atlanta at least, but got some people going. McDonough's completely on the other side of the metro. It's south of 285 by another 20 minutes or so. It's almost getting down to the Peachtree City area. And that is really never a fun drive. I can never say I've really enjoyed my time driving on 75 south of Atlanta, ever, or any part of 75, but especially not from this far away. And that's going to be the situation in front of those two guys in black, the owner and head coach of Georgia Revolution FC. That's Eric and Alec Morrison. And they're still just having the conversation with Andre about what the restart is going to be. Well, let's do this. I know Atlanta United's playing right now. That's where I would have been if this match wasn't on tonight. And, oh, well, I shouldn't have done that. That's a terrible result. Minnesota United ahead 2-0 over Atlanta United at the moment, for those of you who are Atlanta fans. And unfortunately, I'm one of those. Down 2-0. At halftime, they were at 0-0. I was watching it from Apple TV on my phone, and it's a good thing I forgot to check it in the second half, because it would not have made for good watching. Let's see, you have Tani Uluwayesi, the Nigerian, with a 60th minute goal most recently. 6 minutes after Kervin Arriaga, somehow a center back, scored. That's typical Atlanta United fashion. And it is 2-0 as a result. And, well, I just got some word from Larry Weaver, another one of our directors out here at ASMG. And over there at Shiloh Stadium, he's smack in the middle of the second part of his doubleheader, and where he's at, they're playing football right now because there's no storms in the area. And thanks to Larry's communication, I can tell you that Kalangji Pro Profile are up 2-0 in the 74th minute of that contest. They started with a 7:30 kickoff. Anthony Sumo has a brace over there for Kalangji Pro Profile, and that's a solid result for them. It also affects the Revs, so if you're still here, I'm not sure why you would be, but if you are and you're a Revs fan, that does affect you. So you've got Potros and Kalangji, who are both in action today, and both right around you guys in the table, and it looks like both of them will end up taking all 3 points from this evening. Let's see what else is going down right now. A 3-2 win for Atlanta. Let me just confirm exactly what match that is. See if I can get me a schedule up here. I can't immediately. Let's go to Instagram. That's a good plug. You can go to Instagram and see all the matches, the schedules, when we'll be broadcasting, whether they're live or on demand. All of that information is on Atlantic Soccer Media Group's Instagram. Atlantic Soccer Media is the handle, and you can see all of that. So let's see. I actually don't see an Atlanta team playing right now, so I'm not sure what that info would have been, because it's not Atlanta City. They're playing right now against Kalangji, and that's a 2-0 Kalangji lead. So I couldn't tell you. And, of course, you can also go to nonprosoccer.com. They've got live updates and matches as well. Oh, I'll tell you what it is. It's Atlanta United Academy. They're playing right now against UMA. It's not live on our broadcast, and so that's why it didn't show up in the Instagram post. But it looks like it's a 3-2 victory for Atlanta United Academy, so that puts them level on points with Revolution with one more match played, as they beat UMA FC by a score of 3-2 there at home. So a reminder, SSL and Legends played to a 1-1 draw at 5 earlier today. Then Potros get the 3-1 win against Birmingham. That puts them top of the table at the moment. Of course, pending whatever happens here with Georgia Revolution and then Dalton United, and they have a game in hand. Interesting as well, because UMA losing that match, that takes them out of the tie at the top of the table. They were there with 13 with Dalton and Potros, but Potros are going to take the outright lead at the moment. Dalton United still have an extra match to play. So the table looks like Potros with 16 after 7 matches played. Georgia Revolution still with 12 after 6, but if this continues, this scoreline, they would be on track for 15. Dalton United have 13 points, I should say, from 6 matches. UMA stuck at 13 with 7 matches played now, as Atlanta United Academy bumps up to 12. Kalangji on pace to make it 14 points in 7. In 7th place, rounding out the playoff spots, it is going to be Legends FC with 9 after their draw earlier today. Well, I think that's going to be about all we have for you. I've talked about everything my mind can think of, and, well, we're still here, but with no more football to bring you. As a confirmation, that's it for tonight. There is no more soccer to be played. We, of course, were suspecting that and watching it take place in front of our eyes. But Andre, just to confirm the situation, I don't know if we have any more information about the details of what the replay process will be. Are they going to try to find a way to get them back up for McDonough here again on a midweek, or what's the plan?
That is all under discussion. There is a little bit of disagreement about how to reschedule, as you one
Understandable, right?
Because these, Georgia Revolution, of course, had to travel quite a ways to get up here. All of the weekends are scheduled already with other matches. So, the question is, do they want to do a back-to-back, or do they want to do a midweek, maybe at a different facility that's more neutral? And so that's going to be a decision that's going to be made within the next 5 days. The announcement will be made, and then, of course, we'll, share that with everybody on the social media. I'm sure the teams will share it with their supporters as well.
That's right.
But that's where we are right now.
And these are two good teams, maybe the two best, to be honest, in the league as far as getting updates out on social media. They do a good job with that social media presence. North Georgia United, we were talking about it in the Open, do a great job. They're here at home. It's technically their home match that they'll have to try and sort out. And then the Revs, of course, have long been a adult semi-pro club in the area, and they have great social media as well. So you can find more information on how this match gets rescheduled, whether we're going to go back to that 1-0 scoreline or play it all over again. We don't know any of that for sure, but as you say, Andre, in the next few days, we'll figure that out.
I will say that to restart will have to be start from scratch. So it'll be 0-0.
So there is no scenario in which we go back to this current score.
Not in the UPSL. They would have had to have finished the first half. If they had been able to get through the first half, then they would be able to start the second half in the rescheduled match.
Yeah, that's good confirmation as well. That's good to know, because it changes things for Revolution, who were 1-0 ahead and on their way to more, it seemed, as well. Certainly a match in which they were dominating in an attacking sense. Well, everybody's off the pitch except us, so I guess that means we'll say goodbye to you all for now. Of course, we've got plenty more match weeks to come and some busy weekends going on. Of course, it's turning into busy midweeks too, especially for North Georgia United. But with that, we'll sign off for the evening. Thanks for being with us, and sorry we couldn't give you anything more as far as football on the pitch this evening. We'll be back next week with more action from the UPSL Premier Division here in Georgia. My name's Danny Katula for Andre and Krishna Bomar, everybody here at ASMG TV. Thanks for being with us. Have a great night, and we'll see you next time.
This has been a presentation of the UPSL. Any use of this broadcast without the written consent of the Atlantic Soccer Media Group is prohibited.